So the reason you're not improving, it has nothing to do with who you have in your life. It could, but majority of the reason is because of you. And the reason why I say it has nothing to do with the people you have in your life, because each and every single thing you decide to do is your choice. Each and every single thing you decide to do is your choice. I'm going to say that once again. It's all a laser towards the direction you end up being in. Let's say your focus is on self-health. Each and every single day you make a choice, and the choice you make is where that laser is going to point towards. There's obesity, there's a fit and healthy person, and there's a guy who is average, And let's say you choose to eat a lot each and every single day. The laser is going to point towards average or obesity. But let's say you choose to eat in a proper maintenance. You actually count what you're eating. You eat for health, not for dopamine effect only. Your laser is going to point towards fitness, healthy guy. What I'm trying to say here is that each and every one of your choice is like a ripple effect. It creates a cause and also an effect. And what I mean by this is, before you decide to do something, understand that it's going to push you in a direction. And it's your choice. It's all up to you. If you're a person who wants to be successful, you're a person who wants the best for yourself, understand that each and every decision you choose to make today and tomorrow is going to affect how successful, or if you will become successful. It's crazy that people think that things are supposed to come out of nowhere and people are supposed to serve them. They look at all these famous people, they look at all these successful people, and they think they just got it out of nowhere. They were just lucky. No, the reason they got that is because they made certain decisions that put them in the opportunity, the position to receive the success, the clout, whatever thing they obtained from it. So what I'm trying to say here is that in whatever you're trying to do, it's literally up to you. It's literally up to you to create a plan. My camera died. My SD, not enough space, but cleared it up. So it's literally up to you to create a plan and follow through with it. The reason why a lot of people aren't successful is because they're not consistent. They don't actually care about what they want to do. They just don't put in the time, the energy, anything, and they expect results. What you need to understand is nothing in this world is just going to come flying in your direction and bless you up like that. You really have to put in the energy, the time, the dedication, and you actually got to care. A lot of us, we want to stop working these 9-to-5 jobs. You don't want to be waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning. We don't want to be waking up at 10 at certain times in the day, but you're not putting in the effort to escape that lifestyle, but you come to work on Monday and you complain, you say this, and I always say this because it's a reoccurring event for a lot of individuals. They complain about the life they have, but they don't want to make any choice, any decision to actually change their lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. Each and every single decision you make is going to play a role to how successful, or if you will become successful in this world. Each and every person on this planet has become successful based on their own decisions. And what's crazy is that we look for sources to blame us. And I'm going to make a reaction video on a video I found on this topic about people looking at, let's say, porn, for example, as a reason they're not successful. And there's a whole bunch of no-fab videos, a whole bunch of videos specifying, if you stop this, you're going to become a superhuman, you're going to start grinding, you're going to start working hard. There's a whole bunch of videos like that, but that's not the case. The whole point and the whole reason behind a person not becoming successful is they're not putting in the action for the right thing. They wake up, let's say these are two different people. One guy wakes up in the morning at 5 a.m., takes a cold bath, reads a book, works out, meditates, and then finally gets to his craft. And then let's say he works for like 2 hours on his craft. Why is my voice so cracky? Finally works on his craft. And then there's another guy, he wakes up at like 11 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m. And he's literally just masturbating, and then he gets straight to his grind. He spends 5 hours on his craft. You're gonna see that the guy who actually spends more time on his craft, what he's trying to accomplish, is gonna become more successful. What I'm trying to get here is not that doing bad things or having bad habits is gonna push you further, but if you actually put in time and action into what you're trying to do, that's how you're going to become more successful. I've said this before, a guy who takes action sees more results than someone who's more intelligent. The reason why is because he's actually working, he's actually putting in the work. It's not rocket science, it's not anything crazy that for anybody to comprehend. It's just whoever puts in the work, the time, the energy, and actually tries, sees results, and I don't know why we're in a stage in life where we're confused, trying to figure it out. Oh, how do I stop doing this? No, bro. The reason you're not successful is because you're not trying hard enough. You're not actually trying. You're not actually doing the work. I've given an example like this. You spend 2 hours maybe practicing the craft, and then you spend the rest of the day learning. You spend the rest of the day actually putting in the work and actually doing it. There's something about actually doing it that puts you at an advantage. There's no better experience than actually being in field. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you guys have something you're trying to learn, something you're trying to accomplish, the best thing you can do for yourself is literally just get it done. Just start. Just do it for yourself. And it's not rocket science. Just start. That's all I really gotta say for this video. If you guys are new to this channel, like and subscribe. It's a new setting. I'm doing this in my living room for tonight. I just decided to pick up the camera and literally just get recording on a couple of videos. So hope you guys enjoy the message. Take care, y'all.